a touchy subject for many Jamaicans, and some would rather not talk about it at all. But tonight we tackle the issue here on Live at 7. Now, we've heard the stories of homeless gay men being a nuisance in New Kingston. But what we haven't been told is that a significant number of the homeless homosexuals are teenagers who were thrown out by their families.
Their stories aren't usually told. Oftentimes, they're lumped with other members of the gay community who wreak havoc in New Kingston. But these are some of the most vulnerable members of Jamaica's gay community.
My name is OMAR, and I'm on the road I'm about 15 plus. Reason being, my story, I cannot go home back. And my mother still speaks to me, but my father doesn't want me at home.
OMAR is just one example of dozens of teenagers thrown out of their family's house or chased from their communities, forced to live on the streets. OMAR ended up on the streets in a strange twist of fate. A sexually inexperienced 15-year-old from one of Kingston's toughest inner-city neighborhoods, he ventured into New Kingston with his friends to buy sex from female prostitutes. But not everyone selling was a woman.
Because the male dress up in woman clothes, so you can't know the difference. You can't know the difference. And long after, when I buy it, I'm going to come back again. The person, like one of the person friend, telling me that it was a man I go with, and my friends them was there, here, and I saw them go back into the community with it.
He had to run for his life.
Them said them don't want me in the community anymore. Fire shot off and I go back. Next time I go back, them shoot me 2 times.
OMAR spent weeks in hospital fighting for his life as one of the bullets only missed his heart by mere inches. After leaving hospital with nowhere to go, the 15-year-old ended up living on the streets of New Kingston. He's spent the last 2 years of his life surviving on the streets while still trying to figure out his sexuality.
I don't know if about it, but just say homosexual now because I can't go back home and be amongst them. So you have to just put it that way.
The teenager admits that it is depressing knowing that the community he called home for most of his life and the only friends he's ever had no longer wants him. When OMAR was thrown out of his community, he was in the middle of high school chasing his academic dreams.
Going to school was pretty fun because I was in a whole heap of activities, which is like football, basketball, cricket, classwork, but as I can't go back to my community, I find it very hard. Sometimes I have it on my mind, say I should be in school up to today.
KEMAR is also 17 years old. The homeless teen points out that his mother was mostly abroad and his brothers didn't think he behaved manly enough to remain in the house when she wasn't there.
The last time I left the house, I never go back there because my brother went up on a hill because he was assuming that I was homosexual. And he didn't ask me if it's true or anything. He was just assuming. But anyhow, one day I had a bag with some clothes and my brother took the clothes and take them to a place where he normally hang out and showed it to some older guys, which is his friends. Saying that the boy will always come over the yard is not his brother, is gay, and he always come look for the lady over the house, which is my mother. So now, the guys that on the hill now always look out for me and same time them hold me, actually one of them are going to do me. I'm from South Spring in Mobile, and that is not a nice place.
No longer welcomed in his community, he ended up living on the streets of Montego Bay when he was only 15 years old.
My mother said the reason why my brother put me out is because he said that he and no gay is not living in the same house, which I turned to my mother and I said, you ever ask him, how did he know that I'm gay or whatever? She said she don't want you nothing from me because that's true. So they were all assuming. So I said, because they have guys looking out for me, I'm not gonna run the risk and go back there because my environment where I live, it's not safe.
But living on the streets of the second city wasn't safe either.
I couldn't take it down there no more because everywhere I turn, people, it's like somebody else says, see the boy from South Spring, and I have to be running because my last judgment that took me in Montego Bay was a bunch of school guys, and I had to jump in the sea. I know everybody know Dump Up Beach, and I had to jump in there and I had to swim to save myself, and luckily I could swim.
He knew he had to leave Montego Bay, and that's how he ended up on the streets of Kingston. KEMAR now spends his days wandering the streets trying to figure out ways to survive. The Live at 17 met several other homeless gay teenagers in Kingston with similar stories. Junior MINOTT is a social worker who doubles as a youth crisis intervention officer with the Jamaica Forum for Lesbians, Allsexuals and Gays JFLAG. He points out that many families turn their back on young boys who do not display typical male behaviors, forcing them onto the streets.
I've seen others in the age group like 14, 15, and some guys, you see them on the street, they look big. Surprising, a lot of them are 16. Most of them are on the street from 13, and some of them are 17 now, right? So they have been on the road for roughly 4 years, some 2 years.
The social worker says JFLAG's dilemma is that the organization cannot work directly with minors, and pleas to the Child Developmental Agency, CDA, have not been answered.
We can't knowingly harbor minors around, but they come. We try to tell them, we call CDA. I remember we have picked up the phone, minor on the property, and we call CDA. All until now, no one come. And I've been doing that, for 2 years, nobody came. They tell you they don't have vehicle, they don't have resources, they don't have this. How can a country say they care about the youth, because the youth is the future? And you're going to tell me when a youth is in crisis, is in danger, you're going to tell me you don't have any vehicle, you don't have any resources? No one in this country cares about these youths.
He wants parents who throw out their gay teens to be prosecuted.
These parents should be arrested and all before the court. The police need to pick up these boys. CDA need to get up off there wherever and do the investigation, find these parents and put them before the court. Because the Child and Protection and Care Act state, if you knowingly neglect or endanger the life of a minor, it's a charge. It's a criminal offense. How is it that then no charges have been laid against these mothers and fathers who throw their 12 and 13-year-old child onto the street of Kingston?
All right. Well, we asked the Child Development Agency to come in or to send a representative. However, they declined. They promised to provide us with an official statement, and they have done that. CDA says it is a policy of the CDA to investigate cases involving children in need of care or protection once a report is received, and to take appropriate follow-up actions once a determination is made by the courts. In light of reports of underage youths loitering on the streets in the New Kingston area, the Child Development Agency is launching an investigation into the matter with the support of related partner agencies. It's probably a little too early for Simon Says. Let's take a break. We'll come back in just a moment.